How to target cleaning clients in any neighborhood using online marketing. Welcome to the Hitman Advertising Geo-Target Marketing Series. If you're new in the cleaning business or if you've been in business for a while, you're going to want to pay attention because we're going to talk about how to get high-end clients in specific targeted areas of your city. And this is using Google and other search engines, using Facebook ads, using banner ads all over the internet, and also using voicemail drops. Of course, EDDM, every door direct mail, we're going to talk just a little bit about that, but mostly this is about how to complement an EDDM campaign, not specifically even that you have to do one, because you don't have to do an EDDM campaign. This can be used instead of or in conjunction with an EDDM campaign targeting specific neighborhoods. So this can be laser targeted on specific areas of town for as little as pennies per household. How do you get the best cleaning clients for the least amount of money? This is something that's always on my mind. So the goal of this video is to show you how to find the best clients in any part of the city. And when you're able to target this way, you can actually get higher prices and more clients in the areas that you choose. When you do this, it gets you freedom that many business owners don't have. Quite honestly, not just cleaning companies, but other types of businesses. A lot of small businesses just don't have the freedom to pick and choose and target in on who they want to do business with. Proper marketing can be designed to do that and help you to get that freedom of being able to pick. A little bit about what I did. I actually started my cleaning business while I was in college majoring in advertising, and I knew enough about advertising just to kind of be dangerous. And I didn't always know how to get the clients, the best clients in the best side of town. So the first campaigns that I did actually got me zero response. In fact, one of the campaigns that I tried was by one of the big carpet cleaning marketing gurus at the time, and it failed miserably. But I kept trying and I didn't give up. I put some of what I knew together, and I knew enough to develop a good advertising strategy. So in my strategy, I decided that what I wanted to do was to be the neighborhood cleaner. I didn't want to drive all around town and waste money targeting neighborhoods I didn't want to clean in. I wanted to spend most of my marketing budget in one or two or three smaller high-end areas and spend littler amounts of money in those particular places because I didn't have the money. This is me with my first cleaning van back in 1997 when I was doing all of this stuff, and I didn't have the budget. I bought this van for $1,000, and I didn't have a lot of money to spend. So I had to just keep asking myself, how do I get to be the neighborhood cleaner? So I'd actually drive around with a friend of mine, and we would write down addresses, and we would figure out which neighborhoods that I wanted to actually market to and clean in. And this is one of the first postcards that I actually did, the one on the left actually, and it's kind of pitiful. I mean, the offer that I did is even kind of pitiful. The amount that I'm charging is kind of pitiful. And the funny thing was, you'd think that it's so low price that I'd get a lot of clients. Well, that wasn't the case. I spent a lot of money on postcards. They didn't do too well. I got a few clients, but they really didn't do too well. The offer was decent. The sales copy, I think I'd read somewhere that the word renew was a great thing to say in a headline and in an ad, so that's why I did that. But it didn't do too well. The one on the right was, I think, the second one that I did, where I'm advertising that, it's going to dry quick and we're doing steam cleaning. Wow, isn't that unique? But, and back then, by the way, color postcards were super expensive, so we weren't really doing those, and I didn't have the budget for them. Now they're a lot cheaper to do, but this is what I had, and this is what I tested. But I learned, and I figured out quite soon after that sales letters were better. And I started writing 2- and 3-page sales letters, and they worked really, really well. And I would get a lot of clients letting them know that I'm the neighborhood cleaning company. Here's a special offer, not just an offer giving away the farm, by the way. This is when we started charging more money when I started using sales letters. But the letters were expensive to send out, and they were time consuming. That was the biggest thing, is it was hard to systemize, and our office was getting busier and busier, so I couldn't have my wife folding all of these things, and I couldn't even, my office assistant was so busy answering the phone that I couldn't have her folding all these sales letters. And so I stopped doing it for a while after we got quite a bit busier. But when every door direct mail was born about 5 or 6 years ago, I started using that a lot because it was the same type of thing. I could do these big postcards and target specific neighborhoods for as little as 17 cents per home. And they work great. But the thing was, I knew that there were other ways to target in multiple ways with multiple media. I knew that that was the best thing to do, not just stick to only every door direct mail, even though for a while that's kind of what we did. But soon I was able to complement my EDDM campaigns by using Google AdWords and other methods of advertising to target those same neighborhoods. And then Facebook came around and we did it, did the Facebook ads that way too. And it really worked well in harmony with each other. So what I want to do today is talk about targeting these neighborhoods on Google. Well, how in the world can you actually on Google target specific neighborhoods? So I'm going to go to my Google account and I'm going to show you how to set up a campaign to show you exactly how to do that step by step. Okay, so we're going to be covering a lot of ground, so you might want to take notes or go back and watch this video later. We're going to talk about how to target an area of town specifically with Google AdWords to get high-end clients in certain neighborhoods. So here we are. Actually, this is the new Google AdWords beta platform. We're going to go ahead and create a new campaign by clicking here, or you just create a new campaign in your existing AdWords platform. It doesn't matter. It asks you with the new platform a couple of different questions. We're going to pick search. That's really where you want to go, not display particularly, but search. We're going to pick, just for the purposes of this, website traffic. Now keep in mind that Google's trying to sway you and show you how to do things that you don't necessarily want to do. But just take that with a grain of salt. I'll try to point you some good direction to go to with that to not allow Google to do that. But we're going to put in a website right there. We're going to click continue. And we're going to call this just we'll call this neighborhood. Okay. And we're going to not do the Google partners. We're also not going to do display network. Now we could, where you can actually put up display ads just specifically for people in a mile radius or a particular neighborhood or a particular side of town. But for the purposes of what we're going to do in this video, we won't. We'll probably do a video where we talk about that later. So we're going to leave that unclicked. We're not going to do search partners because that's things like AOL, search engines, and things like that quite frankly, I don't care to really advertise on. But you could do that. It's not Yahoo, but it's other search engines, other smaller search engines. And I like to have mine to where I know exactly where I'm spending the money on. So here's the big thing under the settings. Now you can actually go into an old campaign and select these settings as well, but this is where part of the magic initially is. It's under locations. So I'm going to click on advanced search and I'm going to pick a radius. Now I have gone in and looked up a country club that we clean in quite a bit. It's very close to our shop and we clean there quite a bit, so I've copied their address. And what I want to do is I want to target an area about a mile around this country club. Here we go, right here. And we're going to paste that in. And we're not going to go 20 miles. We're just going to go a mile. We could even do a kilometer if we wanted to, but we're going to pick that. Now we're going to pick target. So now we're only going in on this particular neighborhood. Now this whole mail route in here, I've done a lot of every door direct mail campaigns. So these people kind of know me in this area. My shop is right around the corner, so they've probably driven by my shop too. So this is a win-win. This is also a thing that I'm doing to hit them in a multimedia type of fashion. So we're going to click save here. If I wanted to, I could actually go in and add other areas. I could pick another client's home over here and do one underneath the same campaign, underneath the same targeted area. I can have several different circles where this one ad and the things that I'm going to put in right here target all of these different areas if I wanted to go that route. But for the purposes of right now, we're just going to pick that one neighborhood and we're going to click save. And now we're going to go and keep all of this the same for the budget. We'll just do $5 a day. We could do a little bit more, but whatever you've got the money for, I guess. I don't recommend that you probably, to test it, do more than like $10. A lot of this other stuff, what I don't want to do is do maximize clicks because that leaves Google to pick where my money goes. I want a manual click, right? I'm not going to click on increase conversions because again, that's allowing Google to have my money and do with my money what they please. Now another thing that's going to happen is I would go under additional settings. A lot of this stuff I would ignore. Call out extensions you may or may not do. I probably want to disable that for right now for this particular ad. Just make sure that it's in harmony with what you're doing. But one thing that you want to go in under is location options. I only want to target, by default, this is where Google kind of messes you up a little bit and you end up spending unnecessary money. I don't want to go with what they're recommending by default, which is people in or show interest in. So somebody in Africa or somebody data collecting in India that shows interest in your city may click on your ad. Well, I don't want that. I only want people in my targeted location. Now, there are occasions where if you are in an area where people from out of your state come in a lot, and keep in mind you're not going to show up for them if you put in people in your targeted locations. But what you might want to do if you happen to be spending a lot of money on AdWords is have two different campaigns for each one. Again, we won't get into the specifics of that right now, but for my recommendation, I would mostly put in people in your targeted location. So we're going to click on Save. And now we're going to call this ad group. This first one will be for carpet cleaning. I usually call my ad groups based on services. My campaign is based on an area of town. Now, this isn't the only way to do it, by the way, but this is how I like to do it. And then my ad groups are services for that particular area of town. And that area of town was that 1 square mile around scenic hills that I just showed you. So now we're going to put in our keywords. Now, I've got an entire list of keywords right here that we've got actually on my ad club site, but that I've given to some of my clients. But I'm copying that entire keyword list. We'll go over what some of them are in just a minute. Now, some of them have got brackets, but most of them have got parentheses around them. And what does that mean? This means that if somebody puts in steam cleaners in my city or steam cleaners near me, then your ad will show up because it has to include at least these particular keywords, but it could include more, right? But the neat thing is if I hit specifically those keywords, that's why sometimes we'll have best carpet cleaning. We'll have the word carpet cleaning in here, but we'll also have best carpet cleaning method. Because if I actually hit that and that's an exact match for the keywords I have in here, I very well may pay less money for that click. So I like to have a big long laundry list of several dozen keywords to put in here. Now, another one, I would actually change this to my actual city, not just leave that as my city, but the city's changed, but the city that I'm in. Now, another one that I haven't put in here yet, in this case, I don't always have my campaign this vague, but in this case, I would put carpet cleaning, and then that's all. I would also put carpet cleaning and my zip code, because people on very rare occasions search for that. It's not too terribly common. I'd probably put carpet cleaners in there too. Now, on bigger campaigns, I don't just put carpet cleaners, by the way, because then it's too loose and too many different keywords could show up. But I also might put carpet cleaners and a zip code. But that laundry list of keywords, carpet cleaning in your city name, carpet cleaners, your city name, steam cleaners, commercial carpet cleaning, best carpet cleaners. We've got other keywords for other services as well, but I mean, this is just one of the more common services that we do. Cost to steam clean carpet, best local carpet cleaner, carpet cleaning specialists, carpet cleaning today. There's also negative keywords that I won't really take the time to go in, but I do want to have a negative keyword list too for things that I don't want to show up for, like Walmart or Home Depot or how to. Sometimes, depending on where you're leading that to, how to or cheap. If we're not a cheap carpet cleaning company, I don't want to show up for cheap carpet cleaning when somebody searches that. And believe it or not, sometimes even in high-end neighborhoods, you'll get that. So anyway, we have our big list there. I'm going to save and continue. And now I'm going to create an ad. Now here's where the second part of the magic of whether or not this ad is going to work comes into play. If I have, first and foremost, the way that you target your keywords is important. Where you target your ad is important. But what you say in your ad is just as important, and so is where your ad page, that ad leads to, the page that they click on. Now, ideally, I would want to have a page that's specifically for scenic hills. Right? The ad is about scenic hills or whatever side of town. Ideally, have a page on your website that's on your blog or whatever. If you have a WordPress site, that's really easy to create. One of the reasons why I like WordPress is because you can simply create a page called Scenic Hills and have people go directly to that page. So ideally do that, and on that page mention Scenic Hills. That does two things. One, it's in harmony with the ad, and it's in harmony with those people, and they're called out more to that. You'll even pay less money per click when you're able to do that. So keep that in mind. You don't have to do it that way, but that's my biggest recommendation. If you are doing something for one specific city, though, at least say the city name on that page, at least talk about the city name. But that's how that really needs to work. But even, and we've talked about that before in other AdWords ads, but even micro niche down like this even more. Have a page just for scenic hills. So what kind of headline are you going to use? You're probably going to say, carpet cleaner. I might even want to say in the headline, scenic hills carpet cleaner. And we'll test that headline out. For a sub headline, how about 100% guarantee no spots return? Display path. Now this is important because you can actually put, and you should put, the location that you're actually servicing. So we might want to call that carpet cleaning and then scenic hills and then Pensacola, or whatever you can actually type in for abbreviation for your city, might be good too, because that'll actually be the link that they look at and they go, wow, that's me. You basically want them to say, the people that you're targeting, you want them to look at this ad even and say, wow, that's me, and they're attracted to it. And here's what's neat about that, is even if you're paying less per money and you're showing up further down on the actual list, you'll still get a little bit better if you show up higher, but you're going to pay more if you show up higher. But even if you're showing up lower, you're going to be more likely to catch their attention when you put specific stuff like this. So a description, why don't we say your neighborhood, because this is the type of stuff that we talked about in our EDDMs. Your neighborhood cleaners give you 3 free gifts with any cleaning. So we can say visit us now, and that fits in, and this looks good, and it calls them out. Scenic Hills carpet cleaners. This headline right here totally is going to call somebody in Scenic Hills out. Now, the other question that I get is, well, what if that 1 mile radius isn't just Scenic Hills? What if a little tiny bit is outside of Scenic Hills? Well, there's 2 things about that. One, if they're right outside of Scenic Hills, they know who Scenic Hills is. They know what Scenic Hills is, and if it's the higher end neighborhood, it's actually prestigious that we're the neighborhood cleaning company for Scenic Hills, that they would want to use us, because they indeed would. In a lot of ways, too, if they're that close, they sort of identify themselves with Scenic Hills. Now, you probably don't want to use Scenic Hills if Scenic Hills is the lesser or the not well-known, or the neighborhood that's not as nice. But if it's the nicer neighborhood, that's obviously the one that you want to do, and you want to go that route. You might even want to put things in here about testimonials, or see reviews from your neighbors, something like that. If you have that on that page, that kind of stuff would even be 2 times, 5 times better, right? So as much as you can to let them know that you're targeting that area, you are the neighborhood cleaning company, writing that inside of the ad, it works very, very, very well. And the great thing is you're just spending a tiny bit of money marketing to just those people. And these are the same people, again, that I've done every door direct mail campaigns for, that I've maybe am doing a Facebook ad campaign just in that particular area. And when you do that, it all works in harmony. And 2, we're targeting people that are very close to our shop. It's sweet, and it works really, really well. So go back over this video, watch it a couple of times, play around with something like this. Again, a budget maybe $5, $10 a day, not too much, but play around with it and see what it's going to be able to do for you. So I'll be doing some other training videos coming really soon, following the prospects all over Facebook in the same way that we just did in those specific targeted areas, and doing display ads on Facebook and things like that, Facebook posts where you can follow them as well, following those same prospects all over the internet with banner ads on CNN and weather.com and different websites, but also leaving automatic voicemail messages that don't ring their phone. They just get dropped directly to their phone. That's a new, neat thing to be able to do in those specific areas as well. So look for those trainings and those videos coming out soon. I'd love to get comments. I'd love to get questions. Message me on Facebook, ask on the Facebook Cleaning Marketing discussion group, or shoot me an email. We'll be talking more about this stuff coming in the very near future. So let's go. Let's target those prospects and those clients in those specific neighborhoods.